and welcome to this, another review by me, Grumpy. I hope you can see me behind this wall of scopes here. We've got 3 telescopic sights to review today. 2 are by our old friend Hawke, and they're both the new Sidewinder versions. One's in first focal plane, one's in second focal plane. The third one is by the Elements Optics company that I've never heard of before. Not to say that they're a new company, but I just haven't heard of them, that's all. And this is the Helix version, and the magnification on this one is 6:2 by 24. Now, as we go through these scopes, I will explain the difference between first and second focal plane. It's very simple to understand, but a lot of people deliberately seem to overcomplicate matters, and there's absolutely no need to. So the first one we're going to look at is this. It's by the Elements Optic company, and it is the Helix 6:24 by 50. Comes well boxed, nice substantial firm box, foam on the top, nice padding, and inside what looks to be a whole range of various goodies. Top of the pile, 2 Allen keys in a little poly bag, rounded end on this one, the ball ended on that, nice touch. Little gizmo here which I'm not too sure about at the moment, but leave that with me. Lens cleaning cloth, instruction book, oh, and a sticker. Ooh. So those of you who get excited over stickers, they've included a sticker. Could go on your gun case or whatever. Sunshade, a very nice sunshade here. Front lens flip up cover. The rear lens flip up cover. Nice and firm as well. Plenty of spring in that. And then we come along to the scope itself. And we have here rubber eye cups that can come off. We'll just put those out of the way there. Get rid of that part of the box. So, here it is. On first looks, it seems to be extremely well made. It's got a nice, what appears to be semi-matte finish. I think they call it silk finished anodized finish here. So, got the optical end here, the ocular end here, the adjustable ring to adjust your focus is got nice indentations for a good grip. Come along here to the magnification wheel here, and I'll state right here and now, I do have quite bad arthritis in my hands at the moment. I can't grip that tight, and that's a bit stiff, but hopefully that will ease with wear. I don't know why they have to make them that stiff, but looking in the top here, you might not be able to see it, but there's a little indentation, a little screw in there, hex-headed screw in there. And looking at that, I wonder, in fact I'm pretty sure, if you take that hex-headed screw out and put that in, that will give you a stop, something firm to grip on, to rotate that backwards and forwards. Good idea, like that, very neat. I've fitted what are called coasters, and are used by sea fishermen and other fishermen to fix reels to rods. A club member gave me that tip to move that backwards and forwards, makes it a lot easier for me. Turrets exactly where you expect them to be. Normal 3 turret layout. Side turret is for windage, top turret for elevation, and these are, from what I've been led to understand, tool-free resettable. So what that means is you find your favourite pellet, you've got a good group, that's your 0. Your point of impact is your point of aim, that's your 0. But your scope might be reading 1 low or 1 whatever, and you want it back to the 0 datum mark. Well, it's quite easy actually. You unscrew this knurled end here, comes off quite easily, and you pull this off, and it does require a bit of a tug, but it does come off. And the reason why it requires a bit of a tug is very, very thoughtfully around here there is a nice sealed O-ring to prevent dust, water, sand, grease, jam, porridge and all that sort of thing getting inside. So what you would do then is you'd leave that where it was because you haven't adjusted that, bring this back, find the 0, align that up with the 0 datum mark, push it home, needs a bit of a firm push, screw that back on, bob's your aunt Fanny, you've got an immediate 0, you know exactly what your 0 was. If you've moved it all over the place, you can then come back and say, right, on a calm day or indoors, whatever, that is my windage 0, and the same will apply for elevation 0. On this side we have the parallax adjuster, side focus. You can adjust this for parallax and it works quite nicely. It's very smooth, very easily adjustable. Now the most important thing. Now behind the camera I have a building at about 60 yards away, 50-60 yards away. I'm going to take a look at that through this, and immediately I have got a very, very crisp and clear picture. I will hold this and turn that, and this just snaps into sharp focus. Excellent. I can adjust the ocular here and I get lovely, lovely crisp black reticle. And there's something I really, really like. On the holdover marks for the reticle, you've got all your full mil dots and half mil dots all the way down to 6 dots. But they're numbered. Isn't that a nice change? The actual full mil dots are numbered, which means that you can work out your holdovers with your chosen pellet at your chosen range, and then instead of drawing a map of your reticle, a diagram of your reticle and filling things in, just write down 60 yards number 2. Well, no, let's be a little bit more accurate than that, okay? You could say 40 yards number 1, 50 yards number 2, 60 yards number 3, and that would be quite small and could easily fit, I would say. Let's have a look. Yeah, you could have this on the back of your lens, and in there you could have just a little device there saying 60 yards such and such, what number it was on the scale. Brilliant idea, really, really like that. Do think that's a terrific idea. So what do I think of Element Optics 6-24x50 scope? I think it's a good one, and I think it is an absolute gem to buy. I like the tool-free adjustment and resetting of the windage and elevation scopes. I like the fact that they're easily turnable, they give good firm solid clicks. I was a little bit concerned because of my hands. It may not affect you at all, so don't think, oh, I'm not going to get this because Grumpy says the magnification adjuster's stiff. Well, you've got to try it for yourself, yeah? But the saving grace is they give you a little turn knob there which you can use, and that will make the job much easier. This rotates very well, comes with everything you need. Would I buy one? That's the ultimate question, isn't it? Would I buy one? Would Grumpy part with his hard-earned money to buy one of these? Yes, if I thought I had the need for one, yes I would. I would go and buy one right now. Do I like it as some of the other scopes I've just tested? I know what's going through your mind. Oh, he was raving about that MTC scope. Now he says this is just as good. Let's stop there. Those are two different scopes. This and the MTC scope that I reviewed are horses for courses. You wouldn't really use them for the same. But this, great second favourite. Yeah, I do like this scope, and yes, yeah, I would buy one, and I like it, and that's my recommendation. If you want one, pop along to Range and Country, see Peter or Lawrence, and have a look at one. I know one club member has already bought one, and he's been singing its praises, so go along yourselves and have a look. Right, let's move on to the next one. Right, so moving on to our second telescopic sight we're going to review today. It's the Hawke Sidewinder 30 FFP, first focal plane. This one comes in 6-24 by 56. Yep, got that right. And on opening the box, we have lens cleaning cloth, instruction manual, sunshade, side wheel. Remove these bits of packing and we take these rubber eye caps off. Get those out of the way, get that out of the way, and that gives us a chance now to look at the scope. First of all, let's explain what first focal plane is. The reticle is in front of the magnification lens, which means as you adjust the magnification, go up or down, the size of the reticle will increase. This makes holdovers much easier to get to grips with. Your holdover does not increase with your magnification. These are ideal for long range shooting. To explain what I mean by your magnification alters or what affects with the magnification, you're now going to see a little short clip, just a few seconds, of a picture of the difference in magnification picture with first focal plane. Right, now that you've looked at that, as I said, the disadvantages of these are they're more expensive to make, they're a touch heavier maybe, and they're ideal for long distance shooting and hunting. That's not to say that the HFT boys don't like them. I don't shoot HFT, so I couldn't really say, but you've seen a magnification picture or a sight picture now using first focal plane, and when we do the second focal plane scope I'll show you the difference there so you can compare them. The ocular lens here is easily adjustable backwards and forwards, nice silky smooth feel that you have come to expect from Hawke. Magnification here, nice and easy to turn. I do see some people sometimes at Range and Country Airgun Club range with various cheaper scopes really having to crank them round and use a lot of force to get them round. You don't with these are just lovely. Turrets in the normal position. Side turret here, as you're looking down at the right side turret, pull that out and that will give you your windage. Set that back to 0. The top turret, elevation, lift it up, turn it left or right to go up or down, click it into place when you're finished, and on the side here, on the outer ring of this turret, you have your reticle, your illuminated reticle settings, and on here you have your parallax setting, focusing for distance, and this is quite stiff and it is hurting my thumb doing that, so we're not going to do so much of that. That could be I don't think it needs to be that stiff. Let's just hope that with wear that comes a little bit easier to move. The whole finish is quality. It's black anodized with a nice silver ring around the end here. As we said, soft eye cup here on the ocular lens with easy to adjust, nice serrated edge. The sight picture, as you look through this, is very bright and clear, nice sharp optics, and as you move the magnification, the crosshairs stay exactly where they were, so that makes it ideal for hunting. I mean, at hunting you'd be fairly low magnification if you've got any sense. The only thing I don't like is that the actual reticle layout is a little bit fussy for me. I like a minimum, I like the information there, this is quite contradictory. I like the information there, but I like it in a fuss-free manner. To me, this reticle just seems a little bit fussy and a little bit over complex. You will probably find that it's absolutely fine, and you absolutely love it and you're quite happy with it. So Number 2, first focal plane. If I had a need for one, yes, I'd buy one, but I don't think that the type of shooting that I'm doing at the moment necessitates having first focal plane. Some of you may disagree, and believe me, you're more than welcome to disagree. This is just my opinion. Summing up, if I wanted first focal plane, this scope would certainly be on my priority to look at list, and I think you can rest assured with Hawke's lifetime guarantee on all their products that you couldn't go far wrong. So I'll pack this one away, and then we'll look at the last one, which is the other Hawke, which is a second focal plane, and I'll give you a little diagram on second focal plane. So just leave me with it while I pack this away. Right, so we're back again for number 3, the last one, and this again is the Hawke. It's another Sidewinder, and this is the 30 side focus, and the magnification setup on this one is 4 to 16 by 50. So let's see what we've got in the box. Take the packing out. Sunshade, instruction book, side focus wheel, lens cloth. Oh, this scope's come in a poly bag as well. I dare say the other one I've been using a demo. Anyway, there we go. Put that to one side. Take off the retained eyepiece covers. And it's virtually identical to the second scope we looked at. A little bit shorter perhaps, but exactly the same layout. But this one is second focal plane. Now before we go any further, we'll talk about second focal plane. That means the reticle is behind the magnification lens, which means that the reticle will retain the same size in the viewfinder no matter what magnification you're at. Here's a little diagram to show you exactly what I mean. Right, now that you've seen that, it's easy to see the reticle at all magnifications. That's one of the big advantages of second focal plane. But the holdover varies at all magnifications, and that sometimes takes people a little bit of experience to get used to, but it is well worth getting to know the ins and outs of both of them. Which one to use for what occasion? Well, I would say for long distance shooting and hunting, then you want first focal plane. For anything else, second focal plane. But as I said in the last review, maybe the HFT boys and the field target boys will probably disagree. I'm not going to disagree with them. They're fine, you know. They do HFT and FT. I don't. Okay. I do a fair amount of target shooting at the range and firming control, and I find second focal plane for the ranges I'm shooting out at more than adequate. I don't have any difficulties. Anyway, back to the scope. Ocular lens, beautifully easy and simple to use. Magnification lens, bit stiffer than the last one, but I'm sure that will ease up as we go along. Very clearly defined markings on this, you wouldn't be mistaken. I mean, if you did find this very difficult to use, myself and several other club members have been fitting coasters. They're what sea anglers use to fix their reels to their rods. They're like a more sophisticated tie wrap thing. They're very, very simple to use, and they fit on there quite neat, and they're lovely. Make this a lot easier. Turrets here on the right hand side in the normal traditional position. Your windage, you just pull this up, push that down. Same for elevation. What I forgot to mention on the previous one, I think, was that they're resettable. Take a small coin, unscrew this, 20p is ideal, and then once you've got your scope zeroed, you take these off, and they take quite a bit of unscrewing, let me tell you, especially when you're trying to save time on a video. But that comes off, and then you can line up the index markings around there back to 0, push that on and screw that back down, and you will know that that is your true point of impact to point of aim for your chosen pellet. I mean, let's face it, most of us have a favourite pellet for each rifle, so once you've got your point of aim and point of impact the same, zeroing, you could set that, and then you would just perhaps have to make minor adjustments. On this side, same as before, little thing for adjusting the reticle, the brightness of the reticle, coloured reticle, and again, yeah, that is the range parallax adjuster here. Focus inside focus is way too stiff for my liking, and the first thing I'll do on that is fit one of those coaster adjusters I was telling you about. It's far too stiff for me. Or, hang on a minute, I'm overlooking here, boom, you've got the wheel which will go over there, and the wheel will then make it a lot easier. So yeah, but for me with bare hands, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's quite stiff. Looking through the viewfinder, nice, bright. You cannot whack these Sidewinder scopes for the brightness of their image. Their image is really very bright, and it's easily focused on the reticle, and the range adjuster is just, yeah, it's just fine. All in all, a good quality scope from a well-known, respected manufacturer. And don't forget, with Hawke you do get a lifetime guarantee. Would I buy this scope? Yes, possibly. There might be other scopes I prefer at the moment, but would I buy this one? Yes. In summary, the 3 scopes we've looked at, what would I go for? Well, let me just put this one away and then I'll tell you. Okay, decision time. Let's last of all consider prices. The 30SF 4-16 by 50, the second focal plane scope, the one we're all used to, Sidewinder here, nice reticle, 4-16 by 50, well, that's £422. These are the prices that Range and Country Shooting Supplies at Sleaford have put on the boxes, so they're the prices I've got to go with. But it's worth giving them a call. Secondly, the first focal plane Sidewinder, again 6-24 by 56, £566. Both excellent scopes. For the purpose they're designed, excellent scopes. You wouldn't go wrong. And last but not least, the Element Optics 6-24 by 50 at £335. Well, I've got to tell you, regardless of the cost, but if I was going out right now looking for a scope to use at the range for a little bit of plinking and general target work down to 50-60 yards, hunting out to about 40, maybe 45 yards, this is the one I'd be buying. The Element Helix 6-24 by 50. Now don't immediately say that the other two are no good. The other two are excellent. The other two are perfect for what they are designed to do, and they do come with a lifetime guarantee. But if I was going out to buy a scope tomorrow for the purposes I've just described, that's the one I'll be buying. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry it's been a bit long, and we look forward to seeing you for the next one, which is going to be the FX Chrono. Bye now.